I'm Jennifer Chen, and this is the story of how being underestimated became my greatest advantage in the cutthroat world of tech startups. For 2 years, I quietly cleaned the offices of Nexus Technologies while their employees brainstormed the next big innovation. What they didn't know was that every night, as I emptied their trash bins and wiped their whiteboards clean, I was also running a stealth tech consultancy worth millions. It all started when I graduated with my master's in computer science from MIT. Instead of joining the rat race at big tech companies, I had a different vision. I wanted to understand startups from the inside out, to see how they really operated when no one was watching. What better way than to become invisible, a cleaner, someone people talked freely around because they didn't think you mattered? Just step around her. I'd hear as executives continued their conversations while I mopped the floors. She's part of the furniture. Their dismissiveness was my greatest asset. I learned about their challenges, their mistakes, their opportunities, all while building my own empire in secret. My consulting firm, Phoenix Solutions, had grown to advise some of the biggest names in tech. But I kept my identity hidden, conducting all business through secure video calls with my face obscured, known only as Miss Phoenix. My clients valued my uncanny insight into startup operations and my innovative solutions. They'd never suspected their mysterious advisor spent her nights cleaning offices. Nexus Technologies was struggling. Their flagship project, a revolutionary AI-powered supply chain management system, was months behind schedule. Their biggest client, Global Tech, was threatening to pull their $80 million contract. I knew exactly what they were doing wrong. I'd seen their code on the whiteboards, heard their frustrated discussions, understood their architectural flaws. One evening, as I was cleaning the conference room after their latest crisis meeting, I decided to help. I left a detailed technical document on the CEO's desk, outlining the solution to their problems. No name, just pure technical brilliance. The next morning, I arrived early to witness the reaction. Mark Davidson, the CEO, stormed into the morning meeting waving my document. "Who wrote this?" he demanded. "This is exactly what we need." Silence filled the room. Then Sarah, the lead developer, spoke up. "It was on your desk. That's strange." "Wait, I saw the cleaner in your office last night." All eyes turned to me as I emptied the trash bin in the corner. Mark's face darkened. You left this document?" I straightened up and met his gaze. "Yes, I did. I have a master's in computer science, and I can help fix your AI architecture." The room erupted in laughter. Mark held up his hand, silencing them with a smirk. "Listen, Jennifer, is it? You're just a cleaner. Your job is to empty bins and mop floors, not give technical advice. Know your place." More laughter. Sarah added, "Maybe stick to Windex instead of algorithms." I felt every snicker, every dismissive glance. But I'd been underestimated before. I simply nodded, collected my cleaning supplies, and left the room. Behind me, I heard Mark announce, "She's just a cleaner. Ignore her ideas. Now let's get back to saving this project." That evening, I made 2 calls. The first was to Global Tech, where I revealed that their trusted advisor Miss Phoenix, had intimate knowledge of Nexus's project. "Pull your contract," I advised. "They can't deliver, but I have a better solution." The second call was to my team at Phoenix Solutions. "Prepare the Phoenix chain for launch," I instructed. "It's time to emerge from the shadows." I left my cleaning cart in the supply closet for the last time that night. The next morning would change everything, though they didn't know it yet. As I drove home, I couldn't help but smile, thinking about the chaos that would unfold when Global Tech's CEO called Nexus first thing tomorrow. Sometimes the best revenge isn't about destroying others. It's about showing them exactly what they overlooked. And I was about to give them a masterclass in the danger of underestimating just a cleaner. The next morning at Nexus Technologies started like any other, until it didn't. I watched from my car across the street as Mark Davidson sprinted into the building at 7:30 a.m., his usual perfectly pressed suit wrinkled and his face pale. The emergency all-hands meeting was called 15 minutes later. I didn't need to be inside to know why. Global Tech had just dropped their $80 million contract. My phone buzzed. A text from Global Tech's CEO. Meeting set for 9 a.m. They're in panic mode. I adjusted my designer suit, quite different from my cleaner's uniform, and smiled. Years of being invisible were about to pay off. Inside Nexus's offices, chaos reigned. Through the glass walls of the conference room, I could see Mark pacing, running his hands through his hair. Sarah, the lead developer who had laughed the loudest at me yesterday, was frantically trying to pull up project timelines on her laptop. At exactly 9 a.m., the video call with Global Tech began. I waited in my car, counting down. 3, 2, 1. My phone rang. Mark Davidson's number. I let it go to voicemail. He called again and again. After the 5th call, I answered. Jennifer? His voice was desperate. Please, we need you to come in. It's urgent. I don't work there anymore, I replied calmly. I left my resignation in the supply closet last night, along with my master's degree certificate from MIT and my patents for AI-driven supply chain systems. Silence. You? What? Check the closet, Mark. I'll wait. I heard running footsteps, muffled voices, then a sharp intake of breath. Jennifer, We had no idea. Please. Global Tech is demanding to speak with someone called Miss Phoenix. They say she's taking over our contract. We need tow. I'm Miss Phoenix, I interrupted. And I'm about to walk into your office with Global Tech's CEO to explain exactly why they're transferring their contract to my company, Phoenix Solutions. The silence on the other end was deafening. I stepped out of my car, my heels clicking against the pavement as I walked toward the building. Through the glass doors, I could see the security guard do a double take. He'd never seen the cleaning lady in a power suit before. The elevator ride to the top floor gave me time to reflect. 10 years of building my company in secret, advising Fortune 500 companies while remaining anonymous, all while being treated as invisible by the very people whose problems I could solve. It wasn't just about revenge. It was about showing them the cost of their arrogance. The conference room fell silent as I walked in. Mark's jaw dropped. Sarah's coffee cup froze halfway to her mouth. On the video screen, Global Tech's CEO smiled. Everyone, I announced, my voice clear and confident. I believe proper introductions are in order. I'm Jennifer Chen, CEO of Phoenix Solutions, the company that just acquired your $80 million contract. But you're the cleaner, Sarah whispered. Was the cleaner, I corrected. Now I'm the woman who built a $200 million tech consultancy while you were all too busy looking down your noses to notice what was right in front of you. I pulled up my presentation, displaying Phoenix Chain, the superior version of the supply chain system Nexus had failed to build. For 2 years, I watched you struggle with basic architectural problems I solved 5 years ago. I tried to help, offered you solutions, but you couldn't see past my cleaning uniform. Mark stepped forward, his face ashen. Jennifer, please. We can work something out. The company won't survive without this contract. Actually, I smiled. I have a proposition. I laid out my terms. Phoenix Solutions would acquire Nexus Technologies at a fair price, saving jobs, but with one condition: a complete restructuring of senior management. You're buying us out, Mark stammered. Consider it a lesson in humility, I replied. Everyone in this room is talented, but talent means nothing when wrapped in arrogance. So yes, I'm buying the company, and our first new policy will be that everyone, from CEO to intern, spends 1 week per year working in maintenance or cleaning. It's amazing what you can learn when you stop looking down on people. Over the next hour, as lawyers were called and papers drawn up, I watched the reality sink in. Sarah approached me during a break, tears in her eyes. I'm so sorry for what I said. I was wrong. So wrong. Prove it, I told her. Not with words, but actions. Show me you've learned to value people for their minds, not their uniforms. 6 months later, Nexus was fully integrated into Phoenix Solutions. Our supply chain system, combining the best of both companies' innovations, became an industry standard. Mark found success in a different field, hopefully a humbler man. Sarah stayed on, becoming one of my most vocal advocates for workplace equality. As for me, I kept my cleaning cart. It sits in my corner office as a reminder, both to myself and to every employee who walks through those doors, that wisdom and talent can come from anywhere, and the person you dismiss today might be signing your paycheck tomorrow. The story spread through Silicon Valley, a cautionary tale about underestimating people. These days, when I give talks at tech conferences, I often start with, "Let me tell you about my time as a cleaner." Because sometimes the best way to clean up a toxic workplace culture is to start from the ground up. And sometimes the person holding the mop might just be holding all the cards too. Mom called me last week, laughing about how her friends couldn't believe her daughter went from cleaning offices to running a tech empire. "I always knew you were smart," she said. "But why did you choose to be a cleaner?" "Because, Mom," I replied, "sometimes the best way to understand a system is to be invisible to it, and sometimes being underestimated is the greatest advantage of all." Looking out from my office window now, watching my employees heading home for the day, I smile at our newly hired cleaning staff. They all have their own stories, their own dreams. And who knows, maybe one of them is the next tech mogul in disguise. After all, I'm living proof that success doesn't wear a uniform, and the next big thing might just come from the person everyone else ignores.